At 6. We will call the meeting to order at 6:31. Approval of minutes from November 30th,
My goodness.
2023. Do
Do
I have
we-
a motion?
Sure, I move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Any edits, amendments, comments, or questions?
No.
All in favor of approving the minutes?
Martella?
Okay.
Okay, we have 7 policies. We may not get through them, but let's start.
But we're superstars, so we will.
We will.
We're good.
We're good.
I
So
will
the first-
say, can I just say, I did read through all of them and I did not see significant changes, so it would be helpful if you think there is a significant change between them for you to point out, but like none of them did I see any significant change. So
Same.
Okay, you are the few who do their homework. So appreciated. All right, so we will probably be super efficient, but the first is JLCD. It's administration of medicines to students, and some of this has changed over the years. But this is the most recent policy from MASC. We don't have a recent policy. And this basically talks about how we administer medicine to students. We can't unless the school nurse gets a request from the parent, guardian, and it's under the written directive of a physician. And then it lists exceptions, and that's Narcan. I'm thinking we don't see that in elementary school, but you never know. And then other exceptions, which probably would happen in an elementary school, are asthma.
Hmm.
You can have an inhaler. Students with cystic fibrosis can get enzyme supplements, and students with diabetes can do glucose monitoring. And then students with life-threatening allergies can do an EpiPen. All of those, I think, are totally appropriate, and students who have any of those conditions probably have worked with parent and doctor to do all of that.
Agreed.
I think this is a policy that's very clear. It's based on not only general law, but Department of Health. I think this is a good policy to have on hand. So if
Agreed.
you are okay, we will move that to the full committee.
Yes.
Okay. Next is electronic messaging by you all, school committee members. And it just talks about exercising caution when communicating, which we know on all sorts of electronic messaging, email, web forms, internet chat rooms. And it just talks about open meeting law. We need to conduct business as a school committee at an open meeting. Otherwise, we're violating it.
Right.
It's basically pretty similar to the one we have on hand. I'm fine if we keep ours. However, I'm always leaning towards MASC's updates.
Yeah, I
So-
prefer,
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah.
similar, I prefer to just go with the MASC one.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Okay. CHCA, approval of handbooks and directives. It's exactly the same, except it talks about, the first paragraph talks about the principal in consultation with the council prepares and distributes the handbook. This was updated in 2022. I like that it mentions the school council. That's one of their directives from the state, so I'm leaning towards the update again. And it gives a little more teeth to the school council being one of the people who helps the principal write that.
Yeah. I
Okay.
like it.
I do too. And I like that it supports the principal.
Mhm.
So the principal is not out there on their own with the school handbook, but they have the full support of the school council. The next policy is our safety program. The biggest difference I saw is MASC got rid of the bodily harm, loss of school time, property damage, legal action, and fatality. It just basically says accidents are undesirable, unplanned, and they can result in tragic consequences. The new policy doesn't spell out all of the horrible things that could happen. That's an accident.
Yeah.
I'm fine either way. I don't know if either one of you have.
I think in this case, I would prefer the MASC.
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
perfect. All right.
Let's fight back.
Building, yeah. Building and ground security. So we have our old Shutesbury one, which is a little bit longer than the MASC. The last time we looked at it was in 18. I like the part about in the new one, it's not just maintenance of a locked building, talks about faulty equipment, fire hazards, safe practices.
Mhm.
I like the part about access to school building and grounds, key controls, funds and valuables under lock and key.
Mhm.
I would go with the updated one, but that's,
No, I would too.
yep. And I also think having that particular policy speaks to maybe community concerns about having our camera.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, and it's very clear. Here's our policy. That's why we have it.
Yep.
Agreed.
School bus safety program is policy EEAE. It's the exact same policy, except we switched, meaning MASC, children became students.
Yeah.
So I would, again, go with the updated one. It's
Mhm.
more, I don't know, I feel like students explains who our kids are rather than children. So I would do full committee, MASC to the full committee.
Yep.
And lastly, policy GBEB, staff conduct. We probably have something that speaks to it in a staff handbook. We don't have a policy. And the leadership team's been working on a Union 28 staff handbook, and this is one of the policies we looked at. And it just basically says, you're responsible to familiarize yourself with laws, regulations, policies, and we expect that you behave in a manner that's an example to our students.
Mhm.
Not really something we have to worry about at Shutesbury, but you never know.
Yeah. Good to have in place.
Good to have in place. And then we can add this to our staff handbook, and it says all of our schools will have this. And it would be a direct link, so when we hire new staff, they can see all of the policies.
Perfect.
Okay. So my most efficient, don't tell the other committees, policy committee has gone through 7 policies without starting at 6.
Yeah.
I will prepare, I'll do another 7, and what we get through in the next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that our last policy meeting together?
Yeah, and honestly, I don't mind if you want to super stack it because it really does seem like we went through this quickly, and if it's helpful,
Yeah. You can.
like, let's just we're
I'm
happy.
gonna put like 15 there, and what we get through, we get through.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And
you know,
clearly my favorite committee does their homework, so.
yes, we are prepared and we will be prepared.
Gold star. It was like the penmanship lady that came when I was in Catholic school. Gold star for all of you. So I will bring 15 policies to our April committee,
Sounds good.
and we will crank through them. And then I think we
Yep.
should save like 5 minutes to have a little remote celebration for our committee.
That's
Yes.
great.
We'll all bring like a little seltzer water and our favorite snack, and we'll save
Yeah.
5 minutes to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be sad for May and June.
I know. I know.
All right, let's-
Changes afoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of change.
yeah,
Yeah.
we should stop the recording. We need to adjourn and stop the recording.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn at 6:41?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Are we adjourned? Okay, stop that recording.